ओके दिस इज़ टोटली क्रेजी। आईपीएस का एग्ज़ाम भी क्लियर किया है, लॉ में भी खेले हैं, अब रियल एस्टेट भी एस कर रही हैं। अमेजिंग ह्यूमन बीइंग, फीड्स 200 डॉग्स डेली, मोस्ट स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड ब्रिलियंट स्ट्रैटेजिस्ट और पता नहीं क्या क्या। आई थिंक माई हेड इज गोइंग टू एक्सप्लोड। कांट वेट टू मीट हर। लेट्स गो, लेट्स गो।
For every builder, a project is as important to him. For every client, the 20 lakh he's put in or a 50 lakh he's put in, that's his hard-earned money.
Right.
I will always reply, whether to your calls or messages, whether it's the most beautiful thing or it's the most ugliest thing. I will not run away from it.
Brilliant.
You don't fail, you're not learning.
Yeah.
Everything is rosy, क्या फर्क पड़ता है यार? Then the life is कुछ है ही नहीं, ups and downs ही नहीं है ना?
Correct. So you know how it is, right? कुछ लोगों को आप मिलते हो and automatically रूम में एक एनर्जी आ जाती है, right? The whole atmosphere changes, it becomes very lively. And today's guest is one such person. इनके आते से ही the whole atmosphere became very positive, very lively. And before we are starting the interview or the conversation or the non-talk show, I've been having this candid conversation and discussion with her, and trust me, I'm having a ball of a time. Let's start without wasting any time. Please help me welcome Sharmin from SD Success Delivers. Sharmin, welcome to the show. I've been chasing you for quite a while, and you finally took a boat from Navi Mumbai and all the way here.
It's very annoying when somebody invites me to Unveiling.
No, it is. It's pretty far. It's pretty far. But thank you so much for coming, taking all the time and doing this with me. It's so great to have you. Like I'm telling the camera and the audience, ki it's been so much fun talking about you. Starting से शुरू करते हैं, right? Please tell us about you. मतलब this is crazy. So whatever I've spoken to her about all this while before, you were an IPS.
I wanted to be one.
Okay.
I did my entrance exams. I cleared. It was some different ball game altogether. I wanted to be one. Unfortunately, due to some personal reasons, I had to give up that passion. But I always wanted to be that. Yes, I wanted to shoot all the cricket.
That would have been great, you know.
Yes. But don't worry,
right.
in the lobby, I face a lot of such people.
Okay.
So that passion keeps me alive.
So, मतलब safe to say कि अब ये पूरा industry is going to get very organized very soon. Thanks to you.
I don't really think real estate can ever be organized because it's an absolutely unethical business, unethical people. Because unfortunately, what happens is there are things that you really can't manage in daily life and daily operations.
Right.
And of course, people have their own ways of looking at it, and that's how it is.
Okay. So, how did real estate start for you?
I was never into real estate. I think that is one place or one field I didn't ever want to be.
This is very surprising to me. You know, most of the people that I've come across in real estate, they have the same story. They never wanted or they never thought that they're going to be in real estate, but the life took them there, and they're doing wonders. Like yourself. Sorry, please continue.
There was this one gentleman, and I very proudly take his name everywhere I go, Mr. Bhavesh Desai. He was the one who saw that I was made for real estate, and he was the one who got me into this industry. And there was lots that I learned from him. Beautiful human being, and he himself is one of the kings of real estate. And from there on, of course, the journey started. It was never look back. I did started with residentials. And then I was very famous or very known for retail. Retail as in brands like McDonald's or Starbucks or Decathlon. These are the kind of brands I've worked with, where they would give us locations to where they wanted to open the shops or the retail outlets. And unfortunately, not everybody has the IQ to understand why some brand would want to come to a particular position and what is the kind of logic which is needed or what is the kind of location or the statistics or the understanding or the rentals. That's where I played a very important role, and I was very, very interested in doing retail. And a very major time I was into retail. Uske baad, of course, then I took a lot of jumps again. I did a lot of residentials. There were a lot of companies that I've worked with, and a lot of builders that I know. And there are a lot of builders that I know. I'm very fortunate for that because I've worked with all the top class people. And then again, I got back myself into commercials. So now I'm doing commercials, which is ITS, retail, and MSME, because government is supporting a lot of MSME at this point in time. So yes, I'm into that.
Okay, so
right now I'm known as a commercial face more than
perfect.
than being into residential.
Before this, you were an editor.
Yes, so I've done a lot of different things. I've worked with newspapers, I've worked for magazines, I have worked in a law company. So there were a lot of versatile things that I've done.
Crazy.
A lot of things that I like doing different things a lot. And because you can't be really sticking to something and be boring. That's how it is. But yeah,
Makes sense.
Stuck to real estate right now.
Perfect.
And it's fun. It's a roller coaster ride. That's
Right. So you were talking about there are certain strategies and certain logics that you need to apply when you doing these sales, which is not very quite out there. It's something like it's common sense is not very common. Is it something like that? Or what are the strategies that you think?
So what happens, unfortunately or fortunately, is when you're talking about real estate, people really only think residential hota hai. Because of course, 80% of residential is, real estate is residential.
Correct.
And everybody's daily bread and butter is residential, because when you're talking about residential, it's a very fast rolling game.
Right.
And it is when you're playing with emotions of people. कि घर लेना है तो हॉस्पिटल है, स्कूल है, मेडिकल है, हो गया. फैमिली को तुम बता देते हो, ये कर देते हो, इमोशंस पे खेल लेते हो, and sales people are very smart in that. You do that. When you come to doing commercials, you're speaking something which is very different. You're dealing with a very smart lot of people,
right,
where you're talking only about ROIs, where you're talking about what are they getting in return,
right,
why would they have an office there. So
right,
strategies are very important, of course. What they are paying, what they're getting back.
Right.
And everything is different. When you're talking about residential, the returns that you get is 2.5%. When you're talking about commercial, ITES, MSMEs give you 4 to 5% of return of interest. When you're talking about commercials, you get 7 to 9%. Or when you're talking about retail, जो दुकान होती है, दुकान में ज़्यादा भाड़ा मिलता है, क्योंकि दुकान is a daily business.
Right.
Commercial is not your business. तुम ऑफिस में आ जाते हो, it's a cost to the company.
Correct.
You understand?
Correct.
So if you understand 55 rupees per square feet चलेगा आपका ये, लेकिन नीचे दुकान वही बिल्डिंग में दुकान आपको 600 रुपए में पड़ती है, क्योंकि वो दुकान है. उसको भाड़ा मिलता है, उसको पैसे मिलते हैं.
Right.
Commercial तो ऐसे चल रहा है. And when you're talking about retail, you get 10 to 12% of ROI. So when you're talking about ROI, so it's basically when you put money, what is the return of interest you get? So when you're dealing with that kind of people, it becomes very logical to make them understand why buy my property.
Interesting.
And honestly, you deal with very smart lot of people because they will, they know much more than you. Today's clients, they know much more than you. Like,
Correct.
तुम एक प्रॉपर्टी में बैठ जाते हो, एक साइड बेचते हो या 5 साइड बेचते हो, लेकिन वो तो 500 देख के आते हैं. Because it's his money.
Right.
So that's how it is.
Okay.
So I prefer doing commercial, I prefer doing retail because it's a smarter job. And honestly, not everybody has the acumen to take it, to be very honest.
Right.
Not everybody has the patience to do it because commercial is not something कि महीने में तुमने 20 डील कर दी, brokerage आ गया, तुम्हारी लाइफ चल गया. ऐसा नहीं होता है. You're doing 5 deals, but you're doing 5 very sensible deals.
Right.
Or you're doing a floor plate, or you're doing the entire building because you're dealing with international companies. You're dealing with people who are having the acumen of commercials.
Right.
ऐसा नहीं है कि भाई घर देख लिया और कहीं भी घर चला दिया और ऐसा नहीं होता. So that's how.
Right. So it's more challenging than your regular residential
Very challenging, and the conversion ratio is very, 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 very different than what it works with residential. Residential, एक worst situation में आप 25-30 closure महीने के कर देते हो.
Right.
When you're talking about commercial, it goes to 5 to 7 max.
Right.
Also depending upon the location, also depends upon the construction that it is, the brand that you're selling. There's a lot of things when you're talking about real estate. It doesn't really कि भाई बना दिया और हो गया. ऐसा नहीं होता.
So is it safe to say कि residential will pay your bills better than commercials?
Residential people find it very safe.
Okay.
A normal Indian man को अगर आके बोलता है कि भाई मेरे पास 1 करोड़ है मुझे डालना है, तो वो जाके फ्लैट ही लेगा, बोलेगा भाड़ा मिल जाएगा 20,000 का.
Right.
वो आके इतना नहीं सोचता है कि कमर्शियल में तुझे वही 20 के बदले 40 मिलेगा.
Correct.
वो उसको एडुकेट करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, which we do through digital media. पर unfortunately digital media में आप वो relationship touch नहीं दे सकते. When I'm sitting with you, I talk to you, I'll make you understand, I'll understand where you come from. That's why I do a deal. I'm not a very digital person.
Okay.
I'm a very person to person, because only when you meet a person, you will put that kind of money, you will trust that kind of person. Real estate is all about trusting people, understanding people, having relationships. No matter where we reach, in digital, no matter where we reach.
Right.
Relationship. आपका client जब तक site पे नहीं आता, आपका client मेरे साथ बैठ के, I am not going to be chatting with him and doing it.
Correct.
I'm not postings and doing hoardings and stuff like that. Yes, we are making awareness.
Correct.
Unless you're not sitting and trusting that person who you're dealing with, you can never crack at real estate.
Absolutely.
So real estate is all about relationships, is what I think. And
Amazing.
yes, brokers bhi hote hain, but unfortunately, like I repeatedly say, that brokers also, for them, their bread and money, the bread and this is churning the money. तो
Right.
residential में जल्दी हो जाता है,
Right,
एक हफ्ते में
right.
churn हो जाता है, commercial में नहीं होता है, commercial में 6 से 8 महीने लगता है एक डील होने के लिए.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the kind of time
Right.
it takes. So the brokers find it easier to go and deal in residential, क्योंकि residential 80% market है. ठीक है ना?
Correct.
Clients होते ही होते हैं और online clients मिल जाते हैं. तुम्हें commercial clients कभी online नहीं मिलते हैं.
Interesting.
You understand? Companies
Okay.
don't really go online. A CEO or a president, he would want to come and talk to somebody who knows, who's knowledgeable.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so that's exactly how it is.
Interesting.
So brokers are also very keen and very inclined towards doing residential because it's faster money for them. So
Right.
when you're doing a commercial, it becomes very important for you to even educate brokers.
Correct.
And even if they're educated, honestly, I'll tell you, they will still not take the pain of ke chalo bhai kar lete hain. They will still take one step to do residential because it's an easier game, it's
Right.
faster money. That's how.
Right.
Commercial is a little difficult. It is a more intelligent game. The bigger the money. That's how it is.
Okay. How interesting. So, which is one of that favorite, or the top project that you executed? Some story that ये वाला was like my best deal or something.
I have been doing a lot of exciting things, honestly. I think I have worked with brands which, have had issues with selling the property.
Okay.
I'm definitely not going to name them, but
You can feel free to name them.
No. I rather not do that. I have always dealt with a lot of builders who had difficulties in selling.
Okay.
So where people see what happens, it becomes very easy to build your business or to build yourself or your name or your brand by doing the easy job.
Right.
You're a top builder. आप आए, आप relate हो गए, आपने काम कर लिया, हो गया. Nobody really wants to do the dirty job, whether it's real estate,
True.
whether it's anybody else.
True, absolutely.
So I have always been, unfortunately or fortunately, in positions where people have been stuck
Right.
to sell their projects, and that's where I find it very challenging to go and put myself in and get that thing done. That's how I think that I make a different mark. I've been very well known for doing such kind of stunts, and there was a point of time where there were all the builders who had shut malls and shut projects. They used to approach me, but then it had become too tiring at one point of time. And yes, there have been a lot of interesting stories. Like there have been some malls which I have done, which particular brands have taken. They've come into the mall, and they are called anchor brands. Anchor
Right.
brands is something like, supposing if you're talking about McDonald's,
Right.
a mall is dead. You must have seen a lot of malls which shut down. McDonald's
Yeah.
is still there.
Yeah.
Because उसका तो terms and conditions भी of course बहुत difficult होता है. But then when your anchor brand is something like a McDonald's or a Decathlon or a Maple, these kind of brands have the power to pull up other brands.
Right.
Starbucks.
Right.
So
Right.
if there's a Starbucks, other brands will come in.
Correct.
So there have been touchwood. I've worked with a lot of anchor brands where you put them in the mall and the mall gets live into.
Amazing.
So yes, those are the kind of things which have happened. I've been in papers, I've been in magazines, I've been into talk shows.
Amazing.
Where, I have been applauded. So yes, it's been fun. It's been fun.
Amazing. So is there a type of these anchor brands? Yeah, it could be anything.
As in, I didn't show them.
Like, जैसे कि you said McDonald's
Yeah.
or a Starbucks, right? So these are more of a places where people come and sit and have.
These are like, McDonald's is something which every kid or every human or every household or every office wala gets excited.
Right,
कौन
right.
सा McDonald's ने देखा है जो कभी काम नहीं करता. कोई रूरल में भी McDonald's खोले तो चल जाता है.
True,
Starbucks comes into a different elite type, but McDonald's is something where you get a 20 rupees burger also and a 200 rupees burger also.
Right,
You know?
right.
So anchor brand, as in he has the power to pull others. So if a McDonald's opens, a Burger King is going to open and a Domino's is going to open.
Correct.
Because they start giving options, and because
Right.
McDonald's open, a phone वाला भी आ जाता है, एक brand वाला भी आ जाता है, कपड़े वाला भी आ जाता है. That is why he's called an anchor brand. He
Right,
has the
right.
power of pulling the crowd.
Crazy.
People will
Right.
walk to a McDonald's no matter what, and if they're doing that, they are going to go to a mobile shop or this shop. That's how it is.
Perfect. Okay, Sharmin, this one question I ask all my guests.
Right.
probably I'm asking this question a little earlier in the, in the podcast than I should be, but still,
Okay.
I think you must be having crazy stories, right? When it comes to your clients. So there's always a good and a bad story.
Right.
तो एक ऐसी मतलब how would I say एक इतनी खराब experience वाला story कि यार that made you question whether when you took the decision of going to real estate, was it the worst decision of your life or something? Some such instance, some such story that you could think of.
Honestly, I'll answer this in a different manner.
Okay.
Being women in real estate, one, is a difficult task.
No doubt.
I'll tell you that because people have very different opinions about it.
Right.
One, people find it that औरत है और real estate में it's very easy for her. That's one of the biggest bullshits, but I'm sure women face that in other industries as well.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in real estate, it's very strong. And I come across bullshits every second day of my life, whether it's with a builder, whether it's with a client. I've got clients where they've come and told me on my face that we don't really deal with women. And
Seriously?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've asked them to please, you please feel to walk out. So yes, there's not one incident. There can be multiple incidents, but of course I wouldn't be able to go there. And but fortunately or unfortunately, see what happens even as a woman now, because I have my own company and I do a lot of mandates and I do a lot of trainings also for salespeople and all that. There are not many builders or not many people in the industry as such who accept that women have the IQ which is better than theirs. So
Right.
that ego factor is very strong.
Right.
Even that, why I say that, because that applies to a client also, because 95% of commercial people who are coming to do is the men fraternity.
Right.
They start getting a complex when they realize that they are less IQ than you. But
Right.
fortunately, like I said, I have had fantastic builders and people who actually see the confidence in you and they put you ahead. So, there's this book also that a person wearing a skirt is a bestseller than comparative to a man, because she understands everything. She'll understand your emotion balance. She'll understand your financial balance. So not everybody is accepting that, but yes, there are a lot of episodes which happen like that happen daily, and they happen with clients, they happen with brokers, they happen with builders, they happen with your own team, because there are a lot of people in your own team who it becomes very difficult for them to take the fact that a woman is dominating you.
Right.
Understanding the fact that it is not something personal, it is something that, you need to understand that you are wrong. So yes.
That makes it a little more difficult than it already is.
But then I get very excited to do everything.
So how do you tackle that?
Yes, I would say that I'm not a very peace-loving person. I snap a lot. I'm very straightforward, if I say.
Yeah.
People find it rude. But that is okay. But I'm the only person who will show you a mirror when I talk straight. I will not run around the bush with you.
Right.
That is very important. I cannot do flower talks. I cannot. So the person who knows that if you're in the business and you're here for a flower talk, then my friend, then you're never going to succeed. If you're here for straight that you are wrong, this is how it's supposed to happen. You're supposed to be rebranding yourself. This is where we are going wrong. And if that person has the argument to accept that, then we're in a good game. And then the person knows that yes, this is not personal, and it's not about a man or a woman or something dirty. It is yes, it is something logical.
Okay. Crazy. Okay. Going to the other side of the stories, there must be a great story that this I did, and this made you believe that what you're doing is the right path for you. Something that was really close to your heart, or something that really made you believe more into what you're doing, and made you think that yes, I've achieved, I've reached some such story.
I know you're digging that story out, which I told you. I told you I don't talk about, but I will tell you without names.
Yes,
and
please.
There was this one mall that I was trying to work on, and these were the days when
Okay, you can't take the name, but can you name the location of the?
It is a mall which is in South Bombay. South
Okay.
Bombay.
Wow.
And
That narrows it down. All right.
And it was a mall which had died off, and there were international companies which were trying to race towards that mall and do something about it to make a story out of it. Unfortunately, it didn't, because like I said off the cameras also, and I repeat this, that all the international brands, which they are fantastic in their job, they have all the fantastic people who are very educated and buy the books in real estate. They don't understand the fact that real estate is not something that you can sit in AC cabins and be doing it. Real estate is a field job. Real estate is something that you're on the foot. You need to understand what is the market, what is the expectations. You cannot be sitting and reading a book and doing real estate. I'm sorry, that's not how it works.
So true.
Real estate is everyday operations.
Right.
You
right.
cannot be sitting in a cabin and just controlling a team and knowing कि चलो भाई काम हो रहा है. Real estate is when you meet your own clients, when you meet your own brokers, when you meet your own developers, when you don't know what is the vision, when you don't know what is the expectations, when you don't know how the business works, you're not going to achieve anything.
True.
So anyways, coming back to the story, all these international firms and all the XYZ big names, they tried doing a mall, which unfortunately they did not.
Okay.
And I got an opportunity because
So there's no chance that you're going to say these big names.
I have to be in the industry also.
Yeah.
So yes,
sorry.
I had the opportunity. I met the promoter. He is a very nice individual. I think without his support, I could have never made it. And he supported me and my boldness, or maybe my knowledge about the industry. And he allowed me to do what I could do. And we did a deal which was of 15,000 square feet. Okay. And I was applauded. I was well known, and I had been a big name then, of course, for that particular brand. And that deal took me 1.5 to 2 years. It had a lot of failures. It had a lot of comebacks and givebacks, and because there were a lot of ego clashes.
Right.
Simple reason, because the mall was in a bad situation and it was going out. We had to mend and bend a lot.
Right.
But yes, I'll probably tell you that the mall, which had only pigeons flying over for years together, now if I step the mall, it is one of the best and the most happening and the most
Amazing.
malls
Amazing.
in South Bombay. Yes, it's a very proud feeling, and it is only because it's a never give up attitude.
Right.
I have a very simple say: the more you throw me down, I will run faster. I will get up and run faster.
Amazing.
The more you put me down, the more you tell me that Sharmin, you cannot do something, you are challenging me.
Right.
जैसे ही तुमने बोला ना आपसे नहीं हो सकता या किसी से नहीं हो सकता है, you only have to do that much for me.
Right.
And I will make sure that this happens.
For me to call you on the podcast sooner, I should have just said, I think Sharmin, you won't be able to. No, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
No, this is an amazing story, and I know that we are not naming names here.
Yes.
Okay, Sharmin. I wanted to ask you one thing. So much of experience. How many years, by the way, in real estate?
11 to 12.
11 to 12, right?
Yeah.
So, plethora. Very good experience. Plus, you're saying you're always on the foot, right? On the
18
ground.
years has been overall, but yes, real estate, very dedicatedly real estate, 11 to 12 years.
11 to 12 years. Okay. So, what are some of the worst practices in the market that you can point and count on the fingers? कि यार ये तो बहुत ही गलत हो रहा है. इसको correct करने की ज़रूरत है. It might take a lot of time, but we are probably on the path or something. So, can you?
To start off with, again, like I say, it's a very unethical industry. People want to climb onto each other, and बहुत सारा cheating चल रहा है. But see, real estate is all about lead flow. डिजिटल से लीड आई, ब्रोकर से लीड आई, टीम ने शेयर कर दिया, और hookups बहुत होते हैं. And the fight is all about that who's going to get that deal. So yes, that under the line, it happens a lot.
Right.
If you're working on the lobby, builder's lobby, it takes a lot to control. But if you're doing 15, 16 sites at a time and you have 300 people you're dealing with, micromanagement becomes very difficult because you can't really understand, because you're spending 20, 25 lakhs on just lead generation, and you've got an entire telecalling team,
right?
And you don't really know कि team जब lead pass on होती है, where it's getting passed on as well.
Correct.
Because digital world.
Right.
So and by the time तो telecaller से होता है, फिर SM से होता है. SM मतलब तुम्हारे जो field पे लोग रहते हैं. And so bribery is something very bad in real estate. When you go and sit in a particular position, the first thing a broker will come and introduce himself and say, "Chalo, madam, I'll take care of you. You take care of me." भाई पगार मिलता है मेरे को मेरे पैसे मिल जाते हैं. You take care of me, I take care of you. But unfortunately, whether he does it with me, if I say a no, he's still
going to do it with somebody else. Yeah.
Yes. So, like, it is very strongly said in the market that people don't find me very approachable. Brokers don't find me very approachable, to be honest, because they can't buy me out.
Okay.
कि ये लीड मेरे पे रोटेट कर दो, ये डील मेरे पे दे दो, ये सब वैसे नहीं होता है. I'm very straightforward. I'm very honest. You've earned it. I'll make sure you get money.
Right.
I'll make sure I'll give you 10 times more what you've earned for. And nowadays, दूसरा भी क्या है, कि when पहले के ज़माने में क्या होता था, कि brokers जब client को लेके आते हैं, there's a relationship, there's a bond between a broker and a client. आजकल के कोई broker को खुद को नहीं पता कि client कौन है. क्या कर लेता है, लीड पास कर लेता है, फोन नंबर पास कर लिया, ये साइड से चोरी करके वो साइड पे दे दिया, इसको लेके उसको कर दिया, and then they tell you to do the job. When you do the job, then he will come and tell you that now you give me my brokerage, and that brokerage also, when we're talking about, they will not take a 2 or 3%, they want 5 and 7%.
Crazy.
Okay, which is true. This is your mentality, your way of working, but at least do something about it.
Right. Right.
This video is going to make me go against brokers and brokers anyways.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say here, that if you are working for something and you deserve it, I would give you 100 times more than what you've done.
Right.
Don't throw yourself on us and then come and argue over it and then expect, कि ऐसा हो जाना चाहिए. नहीं. I'm pretty by the books. And first come first serve ही होता है, because क्या होता है, everybody is doing digital. तो डिजिटल लीड जो होती है वो हर बाजू रोटेट होती है, तो 5 ब्रोकर्स एक ही लीड लेके आते हैं. तो क्या होता है, जो पहले लेके आया उसको चांस देना पड़ता है. ऐसी सब चीजें, लाइक आई सेड, एवरीडेज ऑपरेशंस इज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, and that's how it is. You cannot change the unethical, because even the builder, he knows. It's not the promoter or the builder doesn't know that what is happening. But at one point of time, he just gives in. क्योंकि क्या करेगा, कितने लोगों के साथ जाके झगड़ा करेगा, नहीं होता है. और फिर वो ब्रोकर क्या करता है, he will go in the market, अरे मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ, 4 लोगों के साथ बात करता है, and they make a unity out of it, and without even experiencing or hearing the other side of the story, they make it, कि oh, let's club it.
Right.
And what's happened in today's generation, mostly because after the lockdown, a lot of mandates have come into it.
Right.
What the local channel partners and brokers don't understand, that a mandate company or a sole selling agent is totally different than what you are.
Right.
When a mandate comes in, they come in with strategies, they come with marketing team, they come with their team, and they are there on the site 24/7, serving every single client, every single day, from your booking amount to your registration to your entire completion.
Right.
So you comparing yourself to a mandate or you comparing yourself to a sole seller does not make sense, because you're not giving your 24 hours or you're not giving your 100%.
Right.
आप एक लीड लाके जाके फेंक देते हो, ठीक है, जिसके लिए आप 80% आते भी नहीं हो, फोन पे कोऑर्डिनेट कर देते हो, and then you go and these people, there are a lot of markets where brokers go and speak to the builders and कि मैंडेट को ला दिया सर, ऐसा कर दिया, तो ठीक है सर, आप आके 24 घंटा बैठो, आप 3 साल आप ये करो, और आप आके वो ही लीड सिर्फ आपकी ही साइट पे काम करो. ब्रोकर का क्या होता है भाई, 1 करोड़ है, अगर ये साइट पे नहीं हुआ तो 5 साइट पे से तो 1 करोड़ कर ही लेगा.
Correct.
So don't compare yourself with mandate. There's something different.
Right.
I love working with channel partners. I love working with my brokers, as long as they're ethical, as long as they're sensible, as long as they're honest to their jobs. You run around the bush with me, I'm not the right person to work with.
Right.
It's very simple.
So if I had to ask this in statistics के point of view से, percentage, how what's the percentage of honest people that you've come across as channel partners versus the non-ethical ones or the ones that create more problems?
20% being very honest.
20%.
20% people are there in the market who have hold on their client,
Okay.
who would take the effort of talking to them, making them understand, bringing them to the site. आजकल तो क्या हो गया है, फोन नंबर शेयर कर दिया, पिकअप ड्रॉप भी बिल्डर ही करे, रजिस्ट्रेशन भी बिल्डर ही करे, बुकिंग भी बिल्डर ही करे, फॉर्म का फोटो भेज देना सर, ये भेज देना, हम इनवॉइस भेज देंगे. तो भाई तेरा का क्या, तेरा क्या काम?
Right.
There are brokers who keep sending you leads. They keep talking. I have not even seen how they look like. I don't even know what their offices are. Why would I work with you? I would want to work with you when you come to me. You talk to me. You understand from me. You put in little efforts for me.
Right.
You spend as well with me. You do some digital marketing or whatever you want to do. I'm there standing with you. I will be there everywhere. But if you just throw your things on me and then you come and tell me that this is mine, it doesn't work like that. It's basically earn it.
Right.
That's how it is.
So 2080. The
80%
2080
is
rule.
full of this.
Okay.
I'm sure that not most of your people in the interview in the real estate would ever say that, and because they would want to keep relationships. It's not that I don't want to keep relationships. I love keeping relationships, and like I mentioned it time and again, real estate is all about relationships.
Right.
Whether it is your builder, whether it's your promoter, whether it's your digital marketing, whether it's your client, whether it's your broker, it's all effort. It's a team effort, and everybody has to go hand in hand.
Right.
But I cannot do sugar talks, and what is wrong is wrong. You want to work with me, you work for it.
Right.
Very simple.
Amazing.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, your video is going to make me.
No. That is completely fine. That's completely fine.
No Sharmin, then no Sharmin. That's okay.
That's perfectly fine. It's fine, right? The whole tone of this podcast or this non-talk show, what I like to call it, is because I don't want to, have a set of rules that's going to prohibit you from expressing yourself. That's not the platform that we have here. People can curse, people can abuse, and people can badmouth us saying ki yaar ye kya hai.
But sometimes negative marketing works better.
It's all about marketing.
And like I said, people who know me, they know me.
They know you.
And people who just want to assume and not understand and make stories about in their mind, I can't help it.
Right.
People are you going to go and this?
Absolutely agree.
It's okay. I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm not.
Okay. So, Sharmin, 11 to 12 years in the industry. Before that, you tried your hands, or rather, you were into a lot of things that you did. So, you think real estate is your final stop, or you are going to eventually someday migrate to some other profession or line, or you found your...
I'll be putting my hands on writing a novel. Yes.
Interesting.
Because I always wanted to be a writer. I have been an editor and a writer as well. But yes, I will be writing. I'll be writing on real estate as well. And anything else apart from that, I'm just a philanthropist.
Okay.
That's what I keep doing a lot. Yeah.
Amazing. So, how much role does money play when it comes to deciding your career and all that? So, especially when we talk about real estate, I think ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग इसमें इसलिए कूदते हैं because उन्हें लगता है कि यार money.
Unfortunately, people don't really understand that you see big money. What you have to sacrifice for that big money is way too much.
Right.
Please understand that big money is just not because you go there and stand and not do nothing.
Correct.
It's a lot of efforts. It's a lot of operations. It's a lot of giving. You don't have family time. I have a daughter. My daughter is in 10th. I don't really remember when was the last time I went on vacation with her.
What are you saying?
Arguing that I really don't have time for her. But unfortunately, she's too young to understand that it takes a lot for me to give. To be out and be where I am at this point of time. But yes, people think कि बहुत पैसा है रियल एस्टेट में कूद जाते हैं. ऐसा नहीं होता है. हाँ भाई, कूद जाओ, चीटिंग करो. कितना रहोगे? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. After that, how long?
Correct.
So that is what it is. And in my community, being a Parsi, I want to make this very clear that I'm very honest and I'm very straightforward.
Perfect.
I think we are known for this.
We
are very strongly known for ethics. And in fact, my community plays a very important role because when people come to know that she's a Babaji or she's a Parsi, that works a lot for me.
Right.
When it works for clients or when it works for builders, because they have this trust factor when it comes to this. And no, I don't really want to do anything else apart from real estate at this point of time. I will be doing only real estate. I want to make, I have made a lot of name. But yes, I want to do a lot of commercials because I think that there's a lot which is not being told or taught, and people are just going, going with the crowd. Aisa nahi hota hai.
Makes sense.
So yes, and not many people, the who's and the who's of the industries, have the guts and the capability and the consistency to be in ITES or MSME or commercials or retail, because that does not give you fast money. How important money is for me? As long as I can feed all my animals on time, I'm okay with that.
Amazing.
I don't know any extra buck.
That's
For me, being known, being there for people, and one thing I will very proudly say this, that I will always be there. Whether I've goofed up, whether I've made a name, whether my team has done something wrong, I will be there. I'm not the one who will put the phone off and switch off and run off or not answer.
That's a very prevalent problem in our industry, right?
Yes, in this industry, the thing that people think है phone नहीं answer किया और message छोड़ दिया तो काम चल जाता है क्योंकि तुम बड़े हो गए हो. ऐसा नहीं होता है. For every builder, a project is as important to him. For every client, the 20 lakh he's put in or 50 lakh he's put in, that's his hard-earned money.
Right.
So I will always reply, whether to your calls or messages, whether it's the most beautiful thing or it's the most ugliest thing. I will not run away from it.
That is a wonderful attitude.
Yes. That's
Brilliant.
what is very important in today's industry, which people don't understand.
Yeah.
And that running away is not going to help.
Right.
And anyways, you're spoiling your name. What are you doing? कि projects ले लिए, काम ले लिया, नाम बन गया, भाग गया. ऐसा नहीं होता है ना. If success is a part of you, failure is the most important part of you. Unless you don't fail, you're not learning.
That's a very valid argument, and I would say one of the best things any message,
Yes.
if somebody wanted to convey. Brilliant,
You
Sharmin.
don't fail, you're not learning.
Yeah.
Everything is rosy, तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है यार? Then the
सही
life
बात
is कुछ है ही नहीं, upside down भी नहीं है ना.
Correct.
So yes.
मतलब, you can't taste the victory if you haven't tasted the failure.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
And
Amazing.
when you are in a particular deal, or when you are in a particular thing that you're doing, it is very important that you cannot leave hands of your promoter, of your client, whether he wants to go ahead with the booking, whether he wants to cancel, whether the builder wants to keep a contract with you or not. Then everything has to be faced, and
Right.
unfortunately, that's one of my ex bosses have taught me this. He's a lawyer. He's a beautiful human being, and he was one of my first jobs. And I had absconded from my job because I was very angry with him. And when I came back, and he had only told me one thing. He had told me, Babaji, just remember one thing from me, that no matter what happens, you will answer all your calls and you will answer all your messages. And yes, I still do that. It's been 15 to 20 years now. I
Amazing.
make sure that I do that, no matter how
Amazing.
ugly it is. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, Sharmin, maybe let's move to the last question of the session, I would say. How important do you think technology is going to play a role when it comes to your work? Like, AI is sort of replacing a lot of jobs. It's creating a buzz. It's creating a fear amongst people. You think it's going to affect you or the industry in any way?
Digital part.
It could be digital. It could be artificial intelligence, the way it's changing the thing. Everything. Technology would include everything. Like, how big a team do you have right now?
I have 25 people.
Right. So would you have like a CRM, or then eventually would you go to digital marketing? And then how do you think artificial intelligence, or I think all these tools that are out there, is going to help you in any way possible?
If you ask me, they support you, they back you up, because they give you a lot of brand factor, they give you a lot of visibility,
Right.
they give you recognition,
Right.
and that you are there. But like I said earlier also, आप देखे बिना, बात किए बिना, assurance बिना booking तो आप करोगे नहीं. Whether आप land dealing कर रहे हो, building dealing कर रहे हो, floor plate कर रहे हो, एक घर कर रहे हो, जब तक आप एक इंसान के साथ जाके बात नहीं करोगे, I don't think, I'm sure people will be having different opinions to it, but it's all about relationships, it's all about human touch, and it's all about having a faith in humanity and doing this. Because if I'm selling something right now, the brand may be as big as Lodha,
Right.
but at that point of time, yes, he comes for Lodha, but he's assured, or he's winning that deal, or he has that confidence because he has confidence in Sharmin, in what Sharmin is doing.
Right.
So human touch is very important in real estate, and it all rotates around humans.
Right. So AI will never be able to take over that unless there are like human looking robots out there.
Emotions all
Valid. It's actually about the emotions.
It's all about emotions, it's all about
Right.
human touch.
Amazing. Before we close this whole thing, you've already given beautiful messages out there, right? No, not hope so. I'm telling you, right? Literally, fun conversation, amazing conversation I've had. It's such a pleasure to meet people and talk to them and get to know their stories and understand more, because that's how you learn.
Correct.
That's exactly how you learn, right? So before we end this episode, one message that you'd like to give to all the people out there. It could be, I leave that to you. Who do you want to address that message to?
Okay.
And what message would that be?
One thing which is very important, no matter what you do in life, no matter how big you become, no matter how rich you become, how well known you become, one thing you should not forget is humanity.
Amazing.
Don't give up on humanity, and there is always something that you should do to change people's life, whether it's in office, whether it's outside, whether it's just an animal that you're feeding. But because we are all in a race, and we all know
Right.
that every
Right.
month running for money, every EMI that we're running for, every fees that we're running for, and every luxury we're running for. But why don't we give those, maybe in a day, just do one deed which is different than what you're doing? For me, humanity is very important. if I'm going for a deal which is as big as 500 crores and I see a person who's suffering on the road, believe you me, and this has happened with me, this is not the first time. I would pick that person up, run to the hospital. I'll make sure that person lives, and then that becomes secondary.
Amazing.
Because God is watching you.
Right.
And why give up on humanity and why give up on health when people need you? People need you.
Makes
That
sense.
is what it is. So everybody should become very big, and please don't try to change yourself. That is very important. Be what you are.
Yeah,
Because you are you. There cannot be a different you. That is
Amazing.
one thing that you need to understand. You cannot replicate somebody. There are a lot of people who say that मुझे Sharmin जैसा बनना है या मैं Sharmin हूँ. Even my daughter cannot be Sharmin. She is different.
Correct.
She's crazy in her own way. But the point here is what you are, you are different.
Right.
Please don't remove the humanity out of you. That is very important.
Amazing.
Don't
Amazing.
become cold. That's what it is.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sharmin. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me around.
This was just too amazing, you know.
Thank you.
I know that when your daughter is going to watch this, she's going to be cursing you, saying, "You call me crazy in front of the entire
No,
world."
she knows she's crazy.
Okay.
Anyway, she is crazy.
Perfect,
So she
perfect.
knows that.
All right, all right.
She's more rowdy than me.
I'd love to meet her sometime.
Yes, please.
Definitely, definitely. All right, guys. I don't need to say anything else. This was such an amazing episode. So much to learn, so much to talk about, and our conversation is going to continue. But thank you so much for being here with us, and we're going to come back with another episode very soon. See you.